The audience was buzzing with excitement as Prince Harry walked onto Kelly Clarkson's show, the cameras capturing every step with meticulous attention. From the very first moment, there was an unspoken tension in the air, as if both host and guest were aware that this would not be an ordinary interview. Kelly greeted him warmly, maintaining her trademark charisma, but Harry's measured expression hinted that he was prepared to speak candidly, unfiltered by the usual protocols. The initial conversation started with light jokes and small talk, but a certain underlying intensity made it clear that the exchange might take a sharp turn. The audience leaned forward in anticipation, sensing that a rare moment of unguarded truth was about to unfold in real time. There was a fragile balance, a delicate dance between polite conversation and the imminent clash of personalities that promised to dominate headlines. Within minutes, Harry's responses became pointed, revealing frustrations and concerns that he had long kept private. Kelly, known for her empathetic approach, initially tried to steer the conversation toward lighter topics, but Harry's forthrightness created a new dynamic. His words, calm but forceful, addressed personal experiences, media scrutiny, and public misinterpretations that had shadowed his life for years. The atmosphere shifted. Laughter and casual commentary gave way to serious attention as everyone in the studio began to grasp the gravity of his statements. The audience was riveted, sensing that this was no ordinary celebrity appearance. It was a confrontation of perspectives, a raw and unfiltered airing of truths that few had dared to speak publicly. Every camera angle captured the subtle tension between honesty and entertainment, each frame a record of an evolving clash that felt almost cinematic in intensity. Harry's intensity grew as he continued to articulate points about privacy, personal boundaries, and the pressures of being constantly in the public eye. Kelly attempted to interject with humor, attempting to ease the rising tension, but Harry's candidness left little room for casual banter. The audience shifted in their seats, captivated by his willingness to confront issues that were often sensationalized in tabloids. His expressions were a mixture of frustration, composure, and determination, leaving viewers and studio staff alike uncertain how the exchange would resolve. The moment was tense but electric, revealing a side of Harry rarely seen in public interviews, a mixture of vulnerability and assertiveness that demanded respect while challenging conventional late-night interview dynamics. The conversation escalated when Harry directly addressed previous media coverage and public misconceptions, calling out statements he found dismissive or misleading. Kelly, momentarily taken aback, tried to respond diplomatically, but Harry's persistence and clear conviction created a palpable imbalance. The studio fell into an unusual silence. Even background staff appeared transfixed as the dialogue shifted from light-hearted entertainment to serious, thought-provoking discourse. Harry's poised yet unyielding tone indicated that he would not allow the discussion to drift into triviality. Each comment he made underscored the personal stakes involved and revealed the frustration of a life lived under constant scrutiny, elevating the conversation from simple Q&A to a confrontation that captured the attention of everyone present. As Harry pressed on, Kelly's attempts to maintain the usual rhythm of the show faltered. He spoke about family pressures, the media's relentless focus on his personal choices, and the public expectations that often felt suffocating. His words resonated with viewers, some of whom posted live reactions on social media, amplifying the tension and spreading the exchange far beyond the studio walls. The audience's reaction ranged from empathy to astonishment, recognizing a side of Harry that combined honesty, integrity, and courage. Kelly, despite her experience, struggled to regain control, realizing that Harry's remarks had shifted the balance of authority in the conversation. The usual dynamic of host leading the interview was reversed, creating a moment of high-stakes tension that would soon become headline news. The confrontation reached a critical point when Harry challenged specific assumptions in the questions being asked. His tone was firm, yet controlled, demanding clarity and respect and leaving no room for evasion. Kelly, usually quick to respond with humor or charm, appeared momentarily unsettled. The audience sensed that the tension had reached its peak, and murmurs of surprise and fascination rippled through the studio. Every viewer could see that this was no ordinary interview. It was a rare instance where a guest had successfully shifted the conversation on their own terms, asserting a perspective that could not be easily dismissed. The moment became a powerful reflection of the struggle for autonomy and acknowledgement in public life. Harry's intensity left Kelly with limited options, as attempts to redirect the conversation only amplified the tension. The dialogue teetered between decorum and confrontation, with each exchange layering deeper understanding and higher stakes. The audience, both live and at home, was riveted, sensing that history was being made in real time. Social media erupted, instantly sharing clips and highlights, dissecting each nuance and sparking debates about fairness, media responsibility, and the challenges faced by public figures. Harry's composure contrasted sharply with the pressure, demonstrating a mastery of self-control while asserting personal boundaries, further heightening the drama of the moment. In a decisive moment, Kelly Clarkson opted to end the segment prematurely. The cameras captured Harry's calm reaction as the studio lights dimmed for a commercial break, leaving the audience in stunned silence. The unprecedented exit marked a turning point, signaling that the conversation had exceeded typical late-night boundaries. Viewers at home debated the propriety and implications of cutting the interview short, while news outlets highlighted the confrontation as a rare instance of a celebrity guest commanding a stage in a way that challenged a prominent host. The episode quickly became a viral sensation, shared across platforms with commentary from all corners of the globe. The fallout was immediate. Clips and highlights circulated on social media, accompanied by commentary and analysis of both Harry's candor and Kelly's decision to end the interview. Debates about public figures' rights to personal narrative, media responsibility, and the pressures of fame dominated online discussions. Fans and critics alike dissected the exchange, drawing conclusions about power dynamics, authenticity, and the ethics of late-night television interviews. Harry's statements resonated beyond entertainment, sparking larger conversations about privacy, respect, and the challenges faced by members of the public eye who seek to assert control over their narrative. In the weeks following the episode, the interview continued to dominate headlines and social media discourse. Harry's willingness to speak openly about his experiences reinforced perceptions of authenticity and courage. Kelly's handling of the situation drew both criticism and praise, with media analysts debating the appropriateness of ending the segment versus accommodating the intensity of Harry's disclosures. The incident was widely regarded as a defining moment in late-night television history, illustrating the delicate balance between entertainment and the personal truths of public figures. Ultimately, Prince Harry's appearance on Kelly Clarkson's show left a lasting impression, demonstrating the power of speaking candidly, maintaining composure under scrutiny, and the cultural impact of moments that challenge established norms in media and celebrity interactions.
In the days following the interview, the conversation around Harry's appearance only intensified. Social media platforms were flooded with reactions, with clips of his most pointed remarks circulating widely and sparking debate across international news outlets. Fans praised his honesty and resilience, highlighting how he had stood firm in the face of probing questions and challenging assumptions. Analysts dissected every nuance, from his tone to his choice of words, emphasizing the unprecedented nature of a guest effectively steering the narrative in a late-night talk show. Meanwhile, Kelly Clarkson's response was scrutinized from every angle, with commentators debating whether ending the interview early was necessary or if it inadvertently amplified the impact of Harry's statements. The episode had transcended entertainment, evolving into a cultural conversation about privacy, respect, and the pressures faced by public figures. As Harry reflected on the episode, he felt a mixture of relief, vindication, and renewed purpose. He knew that speaking candidly in such a public forum was risky, yet necessary to assert control over his narrative and clarify misconceptions that had long circulated. The immediate outpouring of support from fans, mental health advocates, and media commentators reinforced his decision, highlighting the resonance of his honesty with a global audience. News programs and social media dissected his statements, with some praising his courage and others debating the boundaries of late-night interviews. For Harry, however, the experience was more personal than performative. It marked a moment of reclaiming agency over his story and a realization of the broader impact that one person's willingness to speak openly can have. In the weeks that followed, he continued to receive messages from viewers expressing empathy, solidarity, and gratitude, demonstrating that the interview had not only shifted public perception, but also inspired conversations about transparency, vulnerability, and authenticity in the public eye. In the aftermath of the show, Harry's public profile experienced a noticeable shift. Media coverage began to highlight his willingness to confront difficult topics directly, portraying him as a figure unafraid to speak his truth even under intense scrutiny. Commentary ranged from admiration for his courage to critical analyses of the dynamics between him and Kelly Clarkson, but the overarching narrative emphasized the significance of his assertiveness. Social media continued to amplify key moments from the interview, with clips going viral and sparking discussions about celebrity privacy, the role of the media, and the balance between entertainment and accountability. For Harry, these conversations underscored a broader cultural impact. His candid remarks had transcended the confines of the talk show stage, influencing public discourse on authenticity, media ethics, and the pressures faced by individuals in the public eye. He realized that moments like these were rare, but powerful, capable of shaping narratives and encouraging others to speak openly about personal experiences that often remain hidden. As days turned into weeks, the interview continued to ripple across media outlets and social platforms. Analysts dissected not only what Harry said, but also the dynamics of the exchange, noting how his composure contrasted with the tension in the studio. Interviews and opinion pieces explored the implications of a guest effectively challenging the host, and the incident was cited in discussions about the evolving nature of late-night television. Fans created compilations of Harry's most candid moments, celebrating his forthrightness, while critics debated whether the intensity overshadowed the intended format of the show. Amid all this, Harry remained focused on the underlying purpose of his appearance, to assert control over his personal narrative and highlight the challenges faced by those in the public eye. The episode became a defining example of how honesty, courage, and clarity of voice can create a lasting cultural impression, demonstrating that televised moments have the power to spark dialogue far beyond the studio walls.